Now I want to speak and explain Unit 5, Grade 5. It talk about shadow. First, the light travel in straight line. The light cannot bending or doesn't bend. The light travel in straight line. Here we have source of light, produce light ray, it travel in straight line through these holes that show us the straight line. The light cannot bend. If we see this picture, there is here light source, produce many colors of light. It travel in straight line. Now, how the shadow form? The shadow form when the light blocked by opaque or solid objects. In this figure, we want to explain how the shadow of a tree will be formed. The light travel from the sun in beam or rays, it reach to tree, then it will be stop. Blocked mean stop. Blocked mean what? Mean stop. Cannot complete its way. Why? Because it reach or it attach solid object or opaque object. This object, the tree part, doesn't allow to light ray to travel through it, because that the shadow form, because the tree blocked the light, doesn't allow the light to complete its way, to continue its way, because that the shadow form, the shadow form. Here the shadow of a tree. And here in this figure also we see the shadow of this man. The light source here, the light travel from light source, then it blocked when it touched the man body. It blocked. What's the meaning of blocked? It stopped to continuous its way. Then the shadow form. Then the shadow here, the shadow form on the wall. That means the light travel in a straight line. The light cannot bend. If the light bend, the shadow not form. But because the light travel in a straight line, the shadow form. Which material let light through? We have different types of materials. Some material let light through, let all light through. We called this materials transparent material. And the other type, translucent, let some light through, mean allow some light to travel through it. And we have the third type, opaque materials. Opaque materials do not let any light through, and do not allow to light, and do not let light travel through it. Now I will give you examples on each material: opaque, transparent, translucent material. First examples of an opaque objects or opaque materials. Wood. Wood. We can't see things behind this door made of wood. Why? Because the wood opaque object. Here, water, clear water. If I put something inside the water and there is the water in clear glass, I can see the object in the water. That means the water is transparent material and the clear glass also transparent. Here, this box made of clear glass. If I put coin, if I put something inside it, I can see. That means I can see clearly also. That means it is transparent. We called it transparent material. Why? Because it allows all light travel through, or let all light through. Here we have many types of glasses. These are plastic, these translucent. It can't or it don't let all light through, but it lets some light through. Sunglass. Why we wear sunglass? To protect our eyes from some types of light, because not all light is benefit for our eyes. Translucent. Sunglass translucent because it lets some light through and do not let other light. Then that means translucent. This plastic translucent or tilted glass translucent. Now new topic: silhouette and shadow puppets. What's the meaning silhouette? Silhouette is the shadow of the object that holds between a light source and a screen. The shadow or the image called silhouette. Shadow puppet. What's the meaning of shadow puppet? Shadow puppets are a silhouette used to make a story on a screen. Okay? That means silhouette is a solid image of person or anything on a screen that form on a screen, and shadow puppets are a silhouettes used to make a story on a screen. They used shadow puppets and silhouettes long ago in ancient China and Indonesia to tell a story before inventing writing, to tell and record their history, to telling stories. Shadow puppet is a silhouette used to tell a story. We told that. Like this. Shadow puppet used to tell a story. They used this way to tell a story before invented writing and before light invented also to record their history. What's the source of light they were used? The source of light were fire, because there isn't light at that time. They used fire, put the fire on their head and used it as a source of light to make a story. Now, shadow formation. How the shadow form? The shadow form, we said, when the light is blocked by opaque object, the shadow position change throughout the day, and the shadow length also different throughout the day. That related to the sun position related to the earth movement, the earth rotation on its axis around itself. Now, the shadow size. We say the shadow size and the shadow position affected by different objects. The first the distance between the puppet and the screen. The shadow size affected by the distance between the puppet and a screen. And the second factor, the distance between the screen and the shadow puppet, then the distance between the puppet and the light source. Here we have object, pair, and light source, and the screen. If we put the pair close to light source, the shadow size will be big. That means if the object close to light source, the shadow will be big. But if the light source far away from the object, the shadow will be small. Now, shadow length change and position change throughout the day, as we said, that related to sun position. And we can use shadow stick or sundial to tell a time. How they were know the time throughout the day before an o'clock. They used a sundial or shadow stick to tell the time, to know the time. Now we will see. If the sun at right side, where's the shadow form? At left side. This till the time. This till the time. If the sun at left side up, the shadow located opposite of the sun position here in this side, in this position, like this also. the shadow of a tree located or form opposite the sun position. Here we have many examples on shadow position during a day. During the early morning, here early morning, the sun shine from east, the shadow form long. During midday or at noon or midday, the sun up, the shortest shadow form. At which time? At noon or at midday, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. During sunset, at evening, also the shadow will be long. But between early morning and during midday, the shadow form long, then it becomes short and short and short, then become shortest at midday. Then after 1 o'clock, the shadow become long and long, then longest at evening when the sun be sunset. This shadow stick or sundial till the time. If the sun position here in A, the shadow form at opposite sides of the sun. B, sun position, shadow B, C, the shadow form at opposite sides. Shortest shadow at B, that midday. This longest shadow at evening or at sunset, and here at morning before 12 o'clock. In the morning the sun shine, and here the shadow stick or sundial, we can see the shadow position and the shadow length. This diagram show us the shadow long in different time during a day: 9 o'clock a.m., 10 o'clock a.m., 11 o'clock, then here 12 o'clock, shortest shadow form at noon, at midday, at 12 o'clock. The longest shadow form at morning, early morning. Then the shadow be shorter and shorter, then shortest at midday or at noon. Then after noon, the shadow become longer and longer, then the longest shadow when the sun be set, when the sun sets at evening. Measuring light intensity by using light meter. How the peoples can measure light intensity, and what's the meaning of light intensity? Light intensity mean amount of light in an area, and it's measured by using an instrument called light meter. This is the light meter. Give us numbers to tell the amount of light in an area. Light intensity is very important for many peoples and for many workers who need to measure light intensity. I will give you two examples. There is many examples, but I choose for you two examples on who need to measure light intensity. First example, in greenhouse. Greenhouse, the temperature, the moisture, the water must be controlled, and the light must be controlled to let the plant grow well. If the water not controlled, if the temperature not controlled, if the light not controlled, the plant don't or cannot grow well, because the light is very important to the plant growth. The plant use the light to make its food by itself. Without light controlled, the plant cannot grow and will be die. Also, the second example, filmmaker must make sure the light intensity right for filming to make their film to be clear. Here in greenhouse, the plant need light to grow well. Here filmmaker also must be control the light to do their film. How scientists measured and understood light. There is many scientists understood light and explain how the rainbow form. We have many scientists explain rainbow, but most of them they are or their explanation is wrong. After that, Newton, a scientist, came and used a tool called the prism to analyze the white light to many colors. He finds that prism can analyze the white color or the white light to many colors. When a sunlight passes through prism, it bends. This is called a refraction. Here prism, this instrument called prism. Here white light. The white light, when it hit the prism, it analyzed to many colors. These 7 colors called rainbow colors. How the scientists explain how the rainbow form. They told when the sunlight, white light, hit the drops of water, rain drops. Okay, when the sunlight hit the drops of water, it will be bent in angles. This called refraction. The angle of bending is different for the various colors of light: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. In a rainbow, every raindrop acts as tiny prism. Like Newton said, the prism analyzes the white color, the white light. Also, the raindrop analyze the white light to many color, and the light refracted, giving a rainbow like this: sunlight, white light hit the raindrops, then the light refracted to many colors in different angles. These colors, 7 colors, called rainbow colors. Thank you and good luck.